What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Washed Up Club. I'm here with Zach Baldeep, Brendan Lionel Banks.
I like it.
Yeah, nice. This is a lot of effort.
What's my address?
Full name for both of you.
Yeah, fair point.
Brendan, take it away.
So, I've got 2 topics for you. Dumbass shower thought. I forgot the other one.
All right. Let's go with the dumbass
Let's go
shower.
with dumbass
Wait,
shower.
I want to give you proper options.
Oh.
All right. Randy.
Randy. All right. Let's start with
That's
Randy.
Randy Tyrone, by the
'Cause-
way. Eliminate.
I don't like starting by roasting Zach every episode.
It just seems to happen, doesn't it?
Seems to happen. We had special guest Randy at our events, and he came and did a shoot at the office. And I just want to hear what cars he thought were fire. What cars? He's already picking on you, a man when he's already down. I thought we could get an update.
I don't like picking on Zach at the start.
Oh, it just happens.
I love this. This is great.
All right.
So,
No, I
Breny,
thought this would be a good time to update people on your car.
what did he think? Oh, on my car. Did we actually say what the issue was with it?
We
Well,
haven't.
no. And
No.
I thought then you could, Randy, also kicking you while you're down.
Yeah.
All right, so last week we got all the way to Adam's house, and the car started making a weird popping sound. I tracked it on Monday, and I did a really good job on Monday. It was really fun, and then I brought it to Adam's house, and it started making a weird noise the entire drive.
Pop, pop!
Yeah, pretty much like that.
Boom!
But-
Jack. It was coming straight out of the engine bay. It was weird.
So bizarre.
I was so confused. It's such a weird noise. But yeah, anyway,
Man's
we
not
tried
hot.
to fix it.
Man
and,
is hot.
What?
Man is hot.
Man is hot.
Man's
Going
not
down
hot.
the track.
Yeah, car's not hot. I don't know. Car is hot, car's not hot. I don't know. But it's making a weird noise. So anyway, I drove it home and I haven't been able to drive it for the last week because it's had an injector seal issue where I completely destroyed one. Anyway, we come to work.
Completely destroyed one, or it's just missing.
It's just
Yeah.
missing.
It
I
was
don't know
such a-
where it's gone.
It's in the engine somewhere.
I don't know where it
it has to be.
Do you reckon it is?
How do we've got to non-mechanic this. Zachary's seal is a little ring around the finger, and it ain't there. But it's meant
the
to
thing
be.
is,
It's
how
gone.
How does it come out though? Because
That's
it's
what I-
sealed from both ends.
Yeah, story of my life. But I talk shit from both ends.
Crazy.
Yeah, so what happened with Randy coming up to your car while you had limped it to work?
So I limped it to work this day, right?
Bop, bop.
And then
Oh, Zach's here.
And then Randy's going through and he's talking about all the cars in the thing, as you do, because I like to do a workshop tour of the Keep It Real studios.
guests.
So anyway, Randy comes through, he looks at all the cars and he goes to the Starlet. And what does he say, Breny? What does he say?
This kind of looks like a sick Honda, which was a little bit.
Did he say sick?
Oh,
I don't
cool?
think he did.
I don't think he said
No, he
I
just
don't
said it
know.
kind of looks like a Civic.
Oh.
He didn't
He
have
said
it.
he
There was
liked
no
it.
describing.
Yeah,
No, he
there
liked.
was describing.
He liked that there was cars that he didn't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
alright.
Yeah.
Didn't call
I
your
only
car
watched
sick.
it once because I
Even though the
really wanted to
Starlet-
see what he said about his car.
The Starlet is the best car in the world.
Yeah.
So
So even at least he said something better about your car than my car because he looked at it.
He was getting
right?
around it. Yeah.
I'd just gotten this car to work and he turns around and he goes, and here is the blue BRZ, just like every single other one in the United States. And I
See?
was like, wow.
That's
okay.
more notable.
Yeah.
well, he
so,
didn't even make a note on my car. So
Yeah,
it's
that's.
I know,
We
didn't even
also
film
that
that.
was really funny. It's like he just looked at your car. It's like not relevant.
not even a
It's beyond
not even
his
relevant.
knowledge.
And
It's
I would
beyond
have
his
done the
knowledge.
same thing like at 18. Like the whole world was typical JDMs, RX-7s, Supras, R32s. At 4-door R32. Now I'm like, ooh,
Gross.
have a baby seat in the back. You go with your boys, you know. Maggie's probably getting all excited. Right now. Baby seat. Don't want to speak about it.
But,
But for those who don't know, mine's an imported Prado. It was never sold here, so people have never seen it here before.
is it actually imported? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
It's JDM. It's got JDM
It's
stickers.
actually JDM.
I knew it had the little fender mirror, but I thought it was an Australian car.
No, it's real JDM.
Oh, did they actually
It was-
import them
and
into
I
Australia
got-
as well?
Yeah, it's
Adam?
never sold here.
Right.
It's been imported.
I got
Interesting.
Adam a matching JDM mirror made in China.
Yeah.
It's so crap. Mine fell apart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, mine's
yeah. I
fine.
had to buy one. I might buy you a new one that's actually nice.
My one like
If you
mushes
could-
all the faces when they sit in the back. It's
It's
so funny. Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
Sorry, babe. You look absolutely terrifying in this mirror.
Is it those Broadway ones you have in the...
It's-
Yeah.
It's Broadway. It's maybe some zeros in there instead of O's.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I actually
It's a
went.
Broadway.
It's
Broadway.
So I went with Adam to KFC because we stayed back at work the other day. Put the new livery on the.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I tried to help Adam, but
Yeah,
we're
look,
not.
I didn't do a whole lot.
We're not livery installers, but I tried to help by making the vinyl prepared to be applied, which I feel like was helpful, kind of. But yeah, Adam took me to KFC and he's showing me how you can turn the amount of cooling you want on the air and then the air blowing pressure. They're two different little knobs on the same knob.
Every car has like a fan adjustment and then a cooling adjustment.
Wait,
this
what?
is just a
Does
No,
yours
combined.
Starlet
you have
not?
a cooling adjustment
Yes.
too, don't you?
Yeah, but every car has. It's like a temperature.
Oh,
adjustment.
so that's like your temperature. I thought you also had a temperature one. How do you
No.
make it hot then?
Well, it has hot and cold, but it only ever does like hot. Or
Here I
cold.
was thinking Breny lives under a rock.
Yeah. I'm like, what do you want of it?
I thought you had like how much more particular, like more tweaking of it essentially. Because like,
I mean, yeah, sorta.
yeah.
But like the
It's like-
it's basically has a thing that slides to the right and that's hot, to the left and that's cold. So you could put it somewhere in the middle if you wanted to.
You want to know what was?
But then it has a separate dial that is part of the fan dial.
Yeah.
It's on like the back of it and you can turn that and that's how
yeah,
much
it's
cold air
double
will come
dial,
out.
mate.
But then the front
what?
dial.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you now. What the hell is
And
this?
the front dial is the fan speed, I guess.
Zach.
So he has a left is cold, a right is hot, and then he
Yeah.
has a fan adjustment,
And then
which
a
is
cooler
like,
adjust.
Yeah, and then a cooler adjustment
Yeah.
on that fan dial.
I'd like you to
What
know
the
that's
fuck
very
is wrong with your
standard in
car?
Land Cruisers. It's
What
a
the
very
hell?
Did you know, Zachary?
No, I
That
didn't.
little closed open thing on vents
Yeah.
can be put halfway.
Wait, so it pulls out
Well,
a
I
little bit
really
from the
thought you were
outside, a
lying.
little bit from the
Know
inside.
that. No, you know how you have like your personal fan, maybe you go in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
And it has mine. I've always thought it was fully open, fully closed. You put Adam's halfway, and it only blows half the air out at you. It's so nice.
Yeah, I knew that.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
How much did I teach you on this 2-minute long
Well,
drive?
the alphabet was really learning curve. I've never had a car with AC. Like
Fair enough. Fair
dead
enough.
set.
yeah.
Like Silvia no AC, Supra no AC. Ford would have had it, but I was 18, so I was windows down all the time.
Fair enough.
Shit
Yeah,
sound
fair
system. Just like, yeah, this is sick. Yeah, and the Starlet is new to have AC, and it's not great, but it's better than the nothing I've ever had.
Land Cruiser ACs are the best ACs I've ever
Is that the
come
roof
across.
ones too?
Some of them do have the roof ones, yeah. And then they have like rear air cons, like
Yeah.
in the roof, like above you to the right.
Oh yes, I love
House
this.
vibes,
Yeah.
like
So
central
good.
cooling in your
So
house
good.
vibe.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't do that, but mine has
Oh,
heating
okay.
and cooling in the center console that comes out the back.
Yeah.
Well ahead of its time.
They are. That's I remember my mate had a Berliner. It's like looks like a Commodore, but it's not.
Oh,
It might be-
Holden Berliner, or
Yeah,
whatever
it's-
it's called, Berliner, whatever
yeah,
it's called.
They
Yeah.
all look the same to me.
Yeah. Actually, I'll tell
SSV
you,
Commodore.
I have a really good
The
story
Berliner
about.
SS.
I feel like I've told you guys, but I'm not sure. You'll have to remind me. My age is getting old. No, so-
centuries ago.
3 centuries ago, when I was 18, my mate had this Berliner thing, and I had my Supra, and his was 1990, I want to say. Mine was 1993. And he's like, we're driving somewhere, and I'm like, how are you hot, bro? It's like, because like my car had AC, it just didn't work good. And his did not at all. It had windy down windows. And I'm like, I just cracked the windows, it's roof off, weather's beautiful. And he's like, yeah, but your car's like 20 years younger than mine. I'm like, 4 years,
No.
like 3-4 years. It was, yeah, and it's really interesting to see. Like, I personally think Nissan has really dropped the ball with like innovating in that realm. Like, X Trails and like stuff like that have had the same crap for so long
Yeah.
now, and it's like I'm hoping Tesla really makes people step up their game with like the
In saying that though,
interfaces
I
and
rate
stuff.
the new 400Z. I think that looks cool, especially the
But
tail
does it
lights.
have fancy tech?
Yeah, which part of the car are we talking about here? You're talking about
Interiors have not come far, I don't think. In
No.
in Nissan, And I think
find Audi interiors to be cool.
Yeah.
yeah, and there's like
I feel like the European interiors have progressed and everything else has not.
Yeah, and I think that and EVs, because I feel like EVs are trying to be
They're like,
cutting
oh, I
edge.
have to be different.
Yeah,
I have to do something stupid.
I hate that. It's like Tesla, how it has that fireplace mode and it blows out hot air.
Well, it's like
and
Tesla that
Oh,
doesn't
like
have
a fire.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so funny.
Tesla
terrible.
doesn't have a round steering wheel.
Does it really not?
Some of them don't. They just
can't
have
remember.
like
the Plaid has the freaking
no
the
top handle thing.
fucking the
Where's the no
Do they
steering
really?
wheel? Tesla,
remote.
get your shit together. Sorry, that was really negative. No, so we were actually speaking about before the podcast, dumb cars. You know, the cars. My Cressy, my Ford, my Starlet is my favorite dumb car I've had, where you're
little
not as
shit
caring
boxes.
about it. Shit boxes, runarounds. My mate, that Berliner was his like run around, and I remember he's trying to do a burnout in front of this girl's house that we went to school with, and
Nice.
it's like it's sitting there going, like not really doing anything, and then she comes out. No, wait, she was sitting in her car, and then her mum comes out, and we like zoom off, and like we see
Zoom
like
off or drive at a slow pace.
we zoomed off
in an NA Supra and a balloon.
No, I was in the car with him, and the Supra had some pep. The Supra was a peppier NA car. If I had to
They're
pick,
big cars.
if I had to pick NA cars,
At the time, Zach.
Yeah,
This
at
is
the
a
time,
long
yeah.
a long time ago, it was Dinosaur or Supra.
We got out of there in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It was mental. It was
Got to
insane.
the corner. No, I will admit.
She was
Supra.
only just behind me.
Walking. No, yeah. So we look on Facebook, and she's like, "Someone in a Toyota Lexus was trying to steal my." She had an RX-8, and I think that's what she lived near my other mate, and that's why we were like, "Yeah, let's go do it out in front of their house." Nicole, we were not trying to steal your Lexus.
You're a menace to
No,
society.
we were not in a Lexus, and we were not trying to steal your RX-8. Yeah, yeah. We're a bit loosey goosey.
Menace.
I spent $100 of my YouTube monies wrapping that car in Glad wrap one night. Me and my other mate, like my mate got stung by a bee. I'm in a t-shirt, shorts, getting mosquito bitten.
It's something I've always wanted to do, but it's really bad.
Surely the Starlet would be the cheapest one to do
Open a
too.
bonnet of someone's car, just layer it with cheese, and then close the bonnet. And then it just melts all
That's
through
just
you.
being an asshole. That's not a
It's
prank.
just like this idea that came to me once. I was like, that'd be so funny, but it'd be so bad at the same
This
time.
is why.
Could you imagine?
I love this. I
Someone's
want to do
screaming
it.
at you.
I want to do
It's
it.
just a prank. It's just a prank.
It's just a prank. Car always has melted cheese.
Still
all
not one of
over it.
Jason's drift cars.
Yeah,
Cheese
I
everywhere.
do not intend on being that person. Although,
It was Tarly.
It's Charlie. Look at it. We put cheese in. He's like everything of his.
He's
like,
always eating food.
He's always eating cheese. Yeah. So I spent so much time wrapping this car in Glad wrap. Little did I know his mum had like clothing scissors, those big chunky ones,
Yeah,
and
the
it just
big-
went
Oh,
through it like nothing.
Wow.
So like 4 hours of like we were up at 4 a.m. doing this till like 8 a.m. He was still pissed. I still get like the little Facebook reminder like 9 years ago to this day, good friends I have. And
It just reminds me of like, I forget what it's called. When you finish school, what's that thing? Like muck-up day.
Oh,
yeah.
Like muck-up day pranks.
Oh, what did you get up to?
No, I didn't do anything, but this
Just
is
cheese.
a story from my brother's
we
school.
put cheese everywhere.
Story from my
Cheese
brother's
bandit.
school. Did you know that cows can walk upstairs but not down?
Oh yeah, I've heard about this. Yeah.
Did you know that?
I'm just really confused.
This
Wait,
is a-
your brother brought a cow into school?
No, not him.
Okay.
It was, I think it was before he had finished school, but someone brought a cow up the stairs to some office or something, and then it couldn't get down. So they had to like get someone to come and get it.
That is so weird. That is. And I thought learning about your car's vent would be the only thing today. Oh my god.
That's brilliant. I always knew about the cows walking
You
thing.
sure it's
but
not like a cow tipping
Oh,
thing?
I don't know, but
That's brilliant.
I may have heard the story wrong, so I could be wrong, but I
Bloody
would
hell.
like to think that that's true.
You brought a cow upstairs and just left it there, just bolted. In this
Did you
poor
guys
teacher.
get up to, as someone that didn't finish school, did you get up to anything? I feel like Zach said he dropped out. You drop out?
What? No,
you
not at
drop
all.
it?
I
What?
was just,
No,
I was
I
just
didn't.
terrible.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
football.
I was just dumb as fuck, bro. Like,
No, I didn't do anything for muck up day. Really, school was boring.
I got like, hey, Breny, you got to come. It's Milk Up Day. And I'm like, man, I haven't been to school in like a year and a half. Like, what are you thinking about? Excuse me, you're breaking in at this point. I'm no longer a
Actually,
student.
my school confiscated my scooter on
What?
muck up day.
Because you were doing gnarly tricks off the
Gnarly
stairs.
tricks. No, I was wearing, those inflatable dinosaur costumes where their heads like above you
I
and then
love
like flies
that.
back. I was wearing one of them and riding around the school on a scooter and they confiscated
I
my
always-
scooter.
what? That's cool.
Yeah, but wait,
That's
you
crazy.
still have the
I wasn't
costume,
doing
right?
wasn't yeah, I was in the costume.
I feel like they took the wrong thing.
I was like, what? Why?
I just love, I can imagine like across the school, you just see this dinosaur get his scooter taken off him.
Please
It's like,
I
oh,
like tilted the head forward, like really sad.
that poor dinosaur over there.
I got to admit, every Halloween comes around, I try to find one of those weird blow-up costumes
still
with
have
the
it.
aliens holding you or whatever.
I still
But
have
it's
the
too
dinosaur.
late. I can't get them in time for Halloween. I think I need to get on it early this year.
Probably.
Get
I still
something
have the
real dumb.
dinosaur.
Yeah?
Still here,
Next WUC barbecue will be cool.
Can I just do the whole podcast in the dinosaur? But you don't say anything about it.
yeah. I love that stuff. Like even if it's something real little, you know. So I had as you guys know, I watch dumb TikToks and let them lead my life. For example, one TikTok told me drinking green tea burns 50 calories a day, and so I've had green tea every
you
day for
believe
like
that?
years now. Yeah, because I use it to have my vitamins anyway. Because I'm getting older, I gotta have like
I use it.
muscle
Don't
relaxers
leave
and
vitamins.
stuff.
get on the water.
Do you have the little pill thing that says
Yeah,
Monday,
Monday,
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
I'm really messed up sometimes. I need to know. No, so I saw this TikTok of some random girl like, having a cold shower resets your nervous system. And I'm like, I don't believe that. So
I did that for 3 days, and it makes a little difference, but it's
I
nothing
reckon,
crazy.
I reckon the cold shower thing's more just like mental thing rather than any physical stuff.
Yeah.
Let me get into it. So, being me, I don't want to just watch one TikTok and dictate my life. So I look up another TikTok.
you do TikTok research.
I do another TikTok. And it's some Viking-looking motherfucker in a bath. He's like, you have to do it for 2 minutes or else it doesn't work. And I'm like, if I'm going to ask
I'm
someone...
gonna trust him.
Which is really weird because if I'm to be stereotypical, the other girl like seemed like she was very well presented, had a little note.
Just had this weird guy going, "You should have this. Do it for 2 minutes."
Lighting his hand on fire or something. No,
I should do that.
So I tried it. I'm in the shower. Towards the end of my showers, I started cooling it down a bit because I have lava showers, like hot as fucking. And so I was like, "What? That's probably really bad for you to go from burning hot to ice cold." So towards the end, I cooled it down a little bit, and then I see I got a little clock in the shower so I can be exactly 15 minutes late for work. And I turned hot off quickly, and I nearly fainted. I'm like, I legit was like, oh my God, do I dive out of this? I thought I was going to faint in the shower. It hit me hard, and like you said, you've done it, Zach. Anyway, I did it for about a minute and a half, hopped out, and I was like, I don't really feel any different, but you probably got to do it for more than once.
Yeah.
And so the second day I do it, and the water hitting me, I'm dreading it. I'm like, okay, you're gonna have a full panic attack in a second, because I was real bad. I was so close to going down, I reckon. And yeah, I know.
Some cold water.
Maggie comes in, just his back. Comes in, I'm on the ground. Like,
What's wrong? It's too cold.
yeah, that would be embarrassing. And so I do it the second day. Instantly, my body's like chilling. I'm like, this is cold and uncomfortable, but no panic attack. Third day, it's like 5 seconds of discomfort, and then I'm just chilling, and I'm like, yeah, it's cold. And now I have it. I hop out and I feel really fresh, which I feel like is just.
No, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah,
that's
I
the
feel
thing.
really fresh. I like putting on my clothes and stuff. My skin feels really nice. I don't know about the mental because apparently it's meant to activate some stuff going on in your head. I can't remember what the girl said, so I'm not going to try to repeat it because it's
Yeah.
But apparently it's like a slow release of endorphins throughout the first few hours of your day. And that's why she
It's meant to put you in discomfort.
But the Viking thing said I'd be sick. No. And so it has become to the point I've done it like 5 days now. If one of the days I missed because I was late and I'm like, I don't have 2 minutes to spare doing this cold shower thing.
One of the days you were late.
you were late for being late.
Well, actually, it was the weekend, so hush, hush, guys. Yeah, so I put the cold on. The one day I didn't do it, I felt really weird. I felt like different, and it just felt weird. And now at the end of my shower, I feel like I have to do it, and it doesn't really affect me too negatively. It's obviously cold, but the cold doesn't. And I would like to know if it's doing something, but what am I measuring? You know, like if anything, I was pretty drained today. So one tick down, I did the cold thing today. And yeah, I'd love to hear Zachary's opinion of it. And I just, what do you guys think? I'm crazy? Or
Have you done it before?
am I going to be a Viking?
I haven't done it consistently. I've gone, oh yeah, no cold. I'm like, fuck, that's cold.
No.
And
so
never go back.
Being in this bougie house of yours, has your hot ever run out? And my hot in my current house is so shit. It runs out all the time.
No, it hasn't really run out.
Well, it's not the same as running out. Like when your hot runs out, it's still kind of trying to keep you warm. Turning the hot off is like whole new, like just walk. It's like walking into like the beach or something.
Like, I've done it before.
Yeah, and
It's definitely uncomfortable.
I'm kind of into it now. And I just thought I'd love to hear other people's opinions if they think I'm like listening to some random Viking guy or if they get around it. Oh, I brought it up with Danny, our boss.
Yeah.
One of our bosses.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I do that. And I'm like,
Okay, right.
all right. I just didn't expect that. I thought I was doing something really weird and unique. But even Zach, you know, like...
Nah, I'm pretty sure Maddie's dad does it.
Yeah.
That's a very odd thing to know.
Yeah. What else does he do in the
I'm
shower?
pretty sure my
No, 'cause
girlfriend's dad does it. I
He
don't
does
know.
it for like recovery because he runs heaps.
Okay. You should have
Maggie's
started with
dad
that.
eats a lot of sushi. That's all I really know.
I was like, okay.
So I've done it for like on and off, but I did it a lot before I moved down to Victoria because it is hot in Queensland. And it's the reason why we
to
moved
be
down.
fair, I probably would just have cold showers in Queensland.
Yeah. So I did it for 2 months. Where
Every day?
every single day. I think I missed 1 or 2 days, like you said. I was just doing something or couldn't be bothered. Which is probably couldn't be bothered is probably a really bad mental state to do it in, but whatever. But yeah, no, I did it, and the first time exactly like you said, I could last maybe 30 seconds, if that. And then the second time was like, a minute, and then 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it was. And then it got to the point where at the end of it, I could start the shower cold, and I could just have a single cold shower, and then walk straight out, and I'd be like super refreshed. But ever since I moved down to Victoria, we moved down the middle of winter, and I haven't done it since. So,
I
I couldn't imagine coming home from work. It's still like 9 degrees.
Yeah, still like 9 degrees. And go,
I'm going to have a cold shower. It probably would feel
You
warm.
know what? Yeah. So I did it the other day. It was a bit chilly, and I did it, and it definitely felt. I was like, "Ooh, I'm getting like this is colder." And then, but the thing is, when you hop out of the shower, you're not.
You feel
hot. You're like,
amazing,
oh,
yeah.
I'm so nice and warm. Like standing there naked, Maggie's like all bundled up, so cold. I'm like, I'm boiling. I wonder if it's like a body temperature thing. But yeah, that was my random thing of the week that I've been.
I like
doing.
that. That's good. Not automotive, not YouTube related, but it's a solid piece of content right there.
Drive to work feeling all fresh.
Oh, yeah, I'm right on time. 15 minutes late.
You guys, I hate it.
So was that your stupid thing you wanted to talk about first, or was that your main?
that-
That was my stupid thing.
All right.
My
What's
main
your
topic was
main
already.
one?
I actually have multiple topics. I did want to speak about Adam because he's he's a bit washed up on the old YouTube. So
Ooh,
Have
yeah.
been.
he brought up that he's got some plans, and I had to pick his brain the other day. But I knew Zachary hasn't heard those plans.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, obviously, I haven't posted for a while on my
Can you give
channel,
us a bit more
few
backstory?
months.
Because Zachary and I's viewers are going to be here. So give us like you separated from living 4x4 to have a bit more freedom on your own channel.
Yeah.
You
And
uploaded.
then I uploaded like a few videos on the new channel. It's going reasonably well. Like for a brand new channel, it's got a few thousand subscribers.
New channel just being Adam Reed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then there's like a video that's on, I don't know, it's like 16,000 views or something, which is not bad. Not bad. Not unhappy with any of the videos that have gone up, to be fair. But then I just sort of went on this trip over New Year's in South Australia and filmed 2 videos. And then obviously it's been like 3 months since they were filmed.
Frequent uploads like my channel.
And then I sort of just took the time off to, well, one, work, as you guys know, we don't need to get into it, but work changed a lot. So there was a lot of other things going on. And then
We work a lot too. Severely.
Yeah.
The events, I never
work more than your average person, that's for sure.
Well, I think
It's very rarely a 40-hour week.
I
Very
went to
rarely.
all of our events, as a spectator. So to start at Reed, I was like, yeah, it's like going to the events, but I'm getting paid and work a bit. No, the
Completely
fatigue that even puts on your weekend, like working a Friday night from like...
So the last Friday night drifts, we were meant to film a podcast the day after, didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
As you can see, no guest.
No guest. We were meant to have a guest, had to cancel because Breny and I were
Done.
not in a way of being able to record
You
a
would
podcast.
have had really angry Adam and irritable
Nah,
Brendan.
you'd have even quieter speaking Adam and just no opinions on anything.
Irritable Brendan syndrome. It's like a bit of bow, yeah.
IBS.
Yeah,
IBS
yeah,
over
Yeah,
here. Where was I?
Yeah. You were uploading videos, work changes.
Yeah, so there's a few things to get used to in life. And then the way I filmed the videos in South Australia, wasn't overly happy with myself about how I filmed them because they just turn into vlogs again, which I don't want to do.
Intent.
Yeah, it's like the exact thing that I want to avoid. But I found what happened was I went away and was with people who wanted to go on a holiday, and I was also like coming off a big year, wanted to go on a holiday as well. So like to pull the camera out was kind of like a drainer in a way because like I wasn't fully invested in it either because I was like, fuck, I really just want to stop and enjoy going away. It's like the first big trip I'd actually been on like by myself.
I don't know
sort of
if
thing.
you said it on the podcast, but you also mentioned that pulling your camera out with a bunch of people that do not want to be YouTubers.
Yeah, going on a
it's
trip.
not the same vibe as pulling
going on
it
a
out
trip
in
with
front
a bunch
of
of
us.
people that aren't like creators or something.
They
It's-
don't get it.
Well, like they don't really want to be on it,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
got to respect that, obviously, because like, you know, if you guys weren't YouTubers, what if I just like put a camera in your face? What would you do? You wouldn't know what to do.
I still feel uncomfortable with it when Jace is like, and this is Brendan. Tell us exactly what you do. I'm like holding my drink.
And this is Josh over here. Big son.
What do you do?
I'm this.
I'm wavy, bro.
I'm just waving back here, dude.
So like I felt like it interrupted the trip, and I got back and I have videos. I got some fire photos. Love the photos. Got some videos that I wasn't that big of a fan. They're still good videos, but just not like I didn't feel good
It's
about
not
them.
that end product.
Yeah, I didn't feel good about them. So then it put me off from making them for a little bit, and
And you started a podcast because
Yeah,
your
started a
YouTube channel will be
podcast.
washed up.
started a podcast. And then just like I had a bit of time to think about everything about what I wanted to do because like I still want to always be making videos for myself and stuff because or else why am I doing it really? But I was like, I just don't want to make vlogs anymore. So I was like, what can I do that is the same stuff but just different?
Like
So-
presentation wise.
Yeah, presentation wise, like the video style and just like what it's about. So then after watching, basically I did like a shit ton of research. I just watched so many people.
Find
I
things you like.
Talked to like other filmers and stuff. I talked to Jai a lot because I see Jai go out and do his thing. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. He just does videos that he wants to do.
Jai, I want Jai on the podcast.
I do too.
Yeah.
But he's
So
not washed
bossy.
up. He literally does what he wants to
He
do.
does do what he wants to do. So yeah, I talked to him a lot about stuff and some other people, and then just like watched other people about how they got to where they were and like why they do what they do and whatnot. Didn't listen to any podcasts because I don't have time for that. So then I've settled on I want to do more planned videos. So the last thing I want to do is a vlog. I think I can still have vlog incorporations in it because I can vlog. Like I feel like it's a skill that I have now. So like, but not it be the focus of the video. It's just sort of like a little thing that can come in to like assist in the story.
Segments.
but it's more like planned. Like, all right, I'm going to film here because of this part, and it's going to cut in better. So do things like because I want to do reviews on some of the stuff that's on the car, but not just, because I need to do one on my rooftop tent. No. I don't want to just do one that everyone does.
My tent.
Tripod. Its tent is good because of these reasons. And then there's like some B-roll over the top. Like, that's not me. That's not what I want to do.
Can I try to paint a picture of what I like? I feel like I would like to see is like you doing your adventure, going on your adventure with the tent, and like showing you actually using it, and then you're cutting to like your opinions and your time with it and stuff, and voice over if need be.
Yeah, that's something I want to incorporate is voiceovers. I mean, how
you have
this
a
setup,
this
podcast.
You've got all 4 of them aimed at you, like, and the tent is you got like surround sound.
My guy's got 5.1 surround sound.
So like this tent review, I sat down on Monday and I wrote a whole script.
Ooh, that's a long script.
Here in front of me.
That's crazy.
Why does it say Brendan's a bitch?
Well, how do you pronounce that name?
Darchi.
Darchi. Yeah,
Darchi Eclipse rooftop tent review.
Yep,
is what it's called.
Review.
But like instead of starting out like, welcome back to the video. Like today we're going to do a review on the Darchi. Blah blah blah. It starts out with there is no such thing as the perfect rooftop tent, and it's like a little story like about what we all want in a rooftop tent. But then the compromises you have to make. Oh. No, it's going to be like...
There's no such thing like hand-drawn.
No, it's going to start.
The invention of the rooftop
It's going to start because you've heard me talk to Jai at work, but we're going to go out, we're going to film like proper rollers from his car of like my car driving through the woods and stuff. Woods.
With the tent open.
Forest. Forest? What's the bush?
High country. I think you mean high country.
Oh,
how is Jai's car going to get there?
No.
Jai's got a monster truck.
Oh, right.
So like it's going to be fancily shot, and I have like animation stuff that I want to do to like...
Oh, heck.
Like,
Jeez,
not full animation, but like... more informative stuff.
Like, infographic.
Are we doing
kind
like the dimensions?
Opens to 90 degrees.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but actually, just nicely done because I want to. Each video, I want something that tests me to improve my skills as a video person.
Yeah.
I don't know what you
video
classify
person.
I don't know what you class. I suppose just a videographer is a way to
YouTube
classify.
manager.
Yeah, but that videographer, I'd say, is only cameras though.
Yeah, I feel like a videographer doesn't.
Do you want to call yourself an influencer? Oh, content creator.
Nah.
Oh, I love those names.
Content creator. You are those names.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not them.
You
I'm
are
not them.
too. Oh, you want to give me a skateboard? The new butt plug skateboard.
Dual purpose.
We were influencers before influencer was a thing, so it's all right. I feel like we can all be safe with that. So
I unfortunately was one.
yeah, you would have been. I don't know what we would call you. We would just call you weird back then.
Yeah, no, that's what it was.
Yeah, legit. You'd just be a weird guy that made videos every day. Yeah, 100%.
A lot of fun.
And then I had my other issue of wanting to go on holidays and actually enjoy the holidays, but then get a video out of it.
Yeah, I think people don't
It ruins it so much.
Yeah.
The flow of the holidays is just like down the drain. It's so much worse.
like imagine if your mates were like, "Oh, you want to go on the jet ski?" And you're like, "Yeah, well, let me just film it first."
Yeah, let me go get my GoPro.
Oh,
real
you
quick
don't
or
want to be on the
something, or-
camera? You're just that guy.
And try to be like, let me get my freaking
Yeah,
jet ski
is
pod
that
out.
guy. You need to go on holidays with Jai. Don't dual purpose. Man.
I would actually love to go on holidays with Jai.
It'd
Just
be
saying.
so good.
That'd be amazing.
Camping with Jai.
It'd be so good.
Ooh. Let's do it.
We definitely need to get Jai on this podcast.
We do. We talk
Jai
about Jai.
is our.
He'll be listening right now. Jai, come on the podcast. Gia.
So, to fully interrupt your story, Jai isn't washed up.
No, he's
and
not.
I don't know how to get, like, because I really think the washed up thing means a lot to me. I don't know what it means to you guys, but, like, there's so many things that I can do, I've been proud of, and YouTube being one of them. And I don't do out of, like, I always get upset about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, I once did this and I miss doing it. I just don't do it anymore. That's what washed up means to me, you know? Like, it's in me.
He's technically a washed up drifter, but he just calls himself retired.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He came in, won a championship.
In saying that though, what did he do that weekend? In 1 week, in one single week, he went out and did a chase car with all the drifters, And then he came out. He absolutely fucking destroyed me on the
Erased
track.
it.
And then the next week he's like, I want to go out rallying.
Yeah,
and didn't change
yeah.
the setup of his car at
All
all
in
and
the
went
same
rallying.
car.
Yeah,
All in the
rate
same
it
car,
so
all in
hard.
the same
It's
week.
The best.
Yeah,
So
legit.
Jai isn't washed up.
He's not
Yeah, I
washed up
know.
at all.
He's a stunt man. He actually does it. He's a drifter. Actually does it. Rally driver actually does it.
Yeah. He's not even those things. He's just like, yeah, screw it, I'll do it. Who cares? You
Yeah.
know what he was telling me today, right? So they've bumped him down into the D class for rally, which is the 2-wheel drive sort of things, because of course a lot of people go there with all-wheel drive cars. He was 7 seconds quicker than the fastest 2-wheel drive car there, right? So he was like, I might even just keep doing the championship now because I'm in D class and it may I'm just gonna win it.
Just win it.
It's like,
He
yeah.
just, see,
He just does it. He just does it. He's not
China's
washed up. He's really good at what he
We have to
does.
find something that Jai can't do.
I don't
Apart from
think-
spell, but
So
that's nothing on Jai.
I had this
It's his
idea.
second language.
I had this idea, right? You know, when the car broke, one of my BRZs broke, of course, again, and he miraculously had a scan tool in his car.
Yeah.
And then I said, hey, does anyone have an endoscope so I can check inside my cylinders? And Jai's like, oh my God, I have one of them too. Do you reckon we could test him and see what
Just
he does
the
have?
weirdest shit
The
at work.
weirdest shit.
Does anyone have a paraglider parachute?
Yeah, legit. And Jai's like,
stunt
in
man,
my
though.
car
He's
real
gonna have
quick.
it.
Yeah.
No, okay.
He'll have like some 3D printed
Yeah,
one back
yeah.
at home
Yeah.
or something.
If he doesn't
thing
have it, he'll
Jai
3D
does
print it
so
overnight.
much. Welcome to the Washed Up Confused by How Much Jai Can Do in a Week podcast. So bizarre.
He has like an extra 3 days.
I swear he does. But I reckon we can test him. I'd hope he hasn't heard this podcast.
He
This
will
is
though.
in
He's
1.5
an avid
weeks.
listener of the podcast.
This is in 1.5 weeks. So this
That's the other
episode
thing. He listens
like
to the
airs.
podcast.
Yeah.
How does he do that?
So good episode. Have you guys
He listens to it on Saturday. We release it on Sunday. I don't know how he does it.
he's like hacking into you go to the toilet, you see Jai like edited set for himself. Not for us though. No, have you guys been a little bit younger than me? You've still got probably mates getting married and stuff and buying houses, but are they coming up to the kid stage? Because a lot of my friends are having kids now, and I don't have time to do things, and I'm like, how the hell do they do it with also a kid? It just blows my mind. People I feel like I have less time than people. I don't oversleep. I take 30-minute showers, but that's about it. This is weird.
Think about how much later you'd be with kids.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Don't even. And
Have to
how am I
factor
going
in
to fit
time
them in
for
the
daycare.
Starlet? Can the Starlet have a baby seat in it? Don't know.
Yeah, exactly right.
I have to get a full.
Oh, you're not having kids, are you? Are you? Maybe? I don't know.
We haven't discussed it yet. We want to go back to your channel before I interrupted with me and John.
I hate kids, so I'm okay with not talking about kids.
I can't wait till the day Zach's there helping with merchandise at an event, and a little kid's like I'm like, oh, what would you like? And Zach's
It's like goes bam.
come on, mate, you're gonna pay.
It's $10, mate. Just cough it up.
If you keep picking up the lanyards, you're gonna have to buy them all. Some little kid. So I sold merch at the monster trucks, as we all know. And some little kid grabs the lanyard and just runs like full speed. Like I'm like,
Was it the same kid that was climbing the fence?
No. This is like a little toddler. It's super cute. Just like full pegs it. Little kids run so fast and they start tipping over.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's like you are gonna eat. Oh! You gotta act like that
Life
didn't hurt.
lesson.
Inside you're like, that's
Life
broken.
lesson.
Life
Oh, here we go. Both of you doing the merch then. Oh,
Get that and just run really fast.
yeah.
Watch him fall over.
I dare ya.
Did he fall over at least?
No. His
Oh.
mom's like starts chasing. Yeah, I know, right? You're evil.
God damn it.
Your
So he was
channel.
okay.
I don't know.
Oh.
Hard to say.
It was hard to say. There was too much blood.
Anyway.
Adam's
Anyway.
channel.
Anyway.
Adam's
I
washed up
said
channel.
The issue I had to come over was when going away on trips. Don't try and hold my hand.
Don't put it near my side.
It was on my side, thank you.
Yeah.
Get out. You're off this podcast.
66% vote. Go
Wow.
on. Doesn't take much, does it?
At what point do we let the viewers vote? Where we both all just
When we have some, man.
yeah, fair point. Please leave a comment. Buy a sticker. Thank you.
Anyway, for the fourth time trying to get back on topic. The issue I had was going away on holidays and being able to make a video that doesn't interrupt too much, because no matter what, making a video is going to interrupt something. But like, I feel like talking to the camera interrupts it heaps, because you're like, people are like, I can't talk, like can't get in the way of the camera, can't talk.
You don't find the same thing with B-roll though, when like you're like doing
No,
this,
but people will
panning
talk.
shot and people run away.
People would talk though. So then I was like, well, because you kind of said it before. Stop.
Going for the head again.
Just cross my arms. So I can do what you said before, go on a trip and do a review during the trip, sort of thing. That still like sort of planned. Or I've always wanted to make a proper travel video, but not like a 2-minute long thing, like sort of stretch it out a little bit, which has like little vlog aspects in it, but like little like story things about
Is it meant
stuff.
to be like a travel kind of guide overview
No,
thing?
no, like a cinematic.
All right.
Well shot.
I thought you were going to be like, and I used $1,600 of fuel for this journey. Going to
Yeah.
work.
True. It's like $150, $200 a week to go to work at the moment.
Are you kidding?
Oh,
No.
Are you
jeez.
dead set?
Yeah.
You want the white Starlet, mate?
More like
Give you a good
$150,
deal on
I
it.
think. Just to drive
$150
to-
a week.
Just to drive to and from work, yeah.
Oh my god! I
awful.
thought I was bad.
Yeah.
I'm driving
You're
double
not bad.
the
You're
distance.
driving the missus car at the moment. You're like, fuel's free for me. I remember, interrupt you again. One week I gave Maggie the S13 to drive. I had just filled it up and there was something wrong with her car. So I'm like, yeah, babe, take my car. It was before I worked at REIT. And then I fixed her car and put fuel in it, and then switched back and got my car with no fuel in it.
And multiple crash wounds. It's crazy.
Well, I don't know where those things came from. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
fuel
mental.
sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, it does. But basically, I thought on the holidays, I'm so bad at making myself get up for sunrise and that sort of thing, and filming the sunset, that sort of stuff, because I'm like, I'm on holidays. Why should
I'm
I
on
have to set an
holiday.
alarm?
Yeah.
Why do I need to get up early? Why do I need to make sure I film the sunset instead of just having a beer?
Jai probably has a sensor that will turn the camera on for you or something.
But I think I just need to force myself to do it, and then force myself to give some more time on the trip for certain things. Instead of going, yeah, this will take an hour, just go, no, it'll take an hour and a half.
Because you want to film it.
Yeah, so you'll go out. You won't push yourself to film it in an hour and then get annoyed if it's not done in an hour. Yeah.
Because I literally, like, sometimes we'll be doing like a walk thing or something. I'm like with the camera, like as I'm walking, like, oh, that looks cool. As I'm coming up to it, record as I walk past, and then stop and keep going.
So you want to be able to stop and
Yeah.
actually, no, that sounds cool. I get what you mean, because you definitely didn't want to land in like vloggy content.
Yeah.
And I don't think you did, because you still did. Like, you were going on an adventure each time. Like, you know, it never was like piss easy content, but I definitely don't think it was your full vision.
I think incorporating voiceovers will help a lot with taking it away from being a vlog to then becoming, I don't really want to say film. That doesn't feel right. I don't know what you'd call it.
A mini movie kind of vibe. I don't know.
Same thing.
No, what do Mighty Car Mods call them? I think they call them.
It's a weird
Feature.
Yeah, feature vlog.
feature.
No,
It's not even
I
a
don't know.
film, though. It's not a feature film. It's just a feature, I guess.
Because you
Yes,
did
the
that
feature on the
video
channel.
at the waterfall, because I have short-term memory loss. It's the only one I can remember.
Just one of the
Yeah,
one of
one
the
of-
3 videos that went up.
I've watched them all. I just can only remember one. And I do agree. Like, if you just had nice panning shots of the waterfall and had your voiceover of how you enjoyed it and the scale of it and stuff, that would have been
Yeah,
that
I think it
extra
would
little bit
change
of
it.
flair.
The scale of it, this waterfall was big.
Have
He's
you
being
seen
rude,
the
yeah.
video?
Yeah,
No,
he's-
it's big.
Not
No.
a big fan. He doesn't
No,
It's
understand.
big.
No, I've watched
He
3 of
talks
your
shit.
videos, maybe.
My BRZ is so much grippier through the corners.
Well,
I don't understand.
Well, I mean, I watched maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of your videos. How many of my videos have you watched? Really, any?
I've
Which
watched,
ones are we talking?
since meeting you, I've watched all of them.
What? No.
Yep.
No.
Since meeting you, I've watched all of them.
All 995 of
Since
them.
me, oh no, I mean of the date of meeting you.
Oh,
I haven't
right,
gone
yeah.
back.
You
Wait,
know-
I haven't
I
uploaded.
hadn't heard.
I haven't uploaded one.
You've uploaded like 5 times.
Yeah, I have done it,
Because I
actually.
met you at the RX-7 shoot.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So I
yeah, okay,
watched
fair
you
enough.
from there.
Yeah.
Sussed out your
You're
channel.
gonna love this one.
Yeah.
I used to watch your Falcon video a
Wow.
long time ago.
Adam gets outed for being big Zach Baldy
I
fan.
never hit the subscribe button though. You never converted me.
Yeah.
You never converted me.
It wasn't the 8 minutes at the start. So, what's up, guys? Hit that subscribe button.
Hey,
That
Breny,
was-
is there room on the side of your desk over there?
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
You don't like being that close to fans, do you? Do you want to sign something for Adam?
Oh. Wait, no. How many did you watch?
Oh, I don't remember.
I wish we could go into
Like-
your
like
account
can't-
and see, but I
can't
think it
remember?
forget sometimes.
Can't remember.
Can't remember how
Can't
many.
remember that's how many it was.
Can't remember how many. No. Or I can't remember which one.
Which one? He's playing it off now, guys. He's a big fan.
But
That's
don't be
scary.
upset because
Didn't you
I
notice
don't
when
watch
you
anyone's
first-
videos.
When you first walked into the factory and Adam's like,
Yeah.
all awkward
Adam
around.
starts doing this.
Oh my God.
Hi, Zach. Hi, Zach. Hi, how are you? That's not
pretty
good.
good.
Oh, wow. Gross. Ooh.
This is way back when.
Way back when. Actually, this
When
is
did
when
you
we
have your
started the
Falcon?
first podcast.
Yeah.
Or the Talking Automotive live stream that we did.
Before Breny.
Yeah, Zach and
Yeah.
I.
BB.
Zach
The
and I go way
original.
back.
Yeah.
This is like the anti-WashedUpClub. This
Yeah.
is as we're going up. This was a big one.
Yeah, now this is a fall off, but best content ever. I'm right back up.
Well, that's hectic. I'm sorry. I didn't watch any of your content.
I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos.
I used to consume
Yeah.
a
And I
lot
used to
too.
follow a lot of people like way back when.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what, like 5 years ago. I used to like be up to date all the time across all these channels. And now I don't follow anyone.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you think it's the time thing, or do you think the forms of content are changing, like your interest in them? Because I always find it hard.
I think the interest in them, like I don't see the value in watching a lot of people that I used to watch. Like,
Have you
I
found
just-
that a lot of YouTubers have become not personable anymore? Because like you used to watch people as they grew, like what with you did. Like with, I guess, me and Adam LZ, you watch him and you go from BMX
What, did you just
to...
put yourself on the same?
No, definitely not. No, me going through live and Adam LZ putting videos out.
Oh,
So
okay.
like I was a scooter kid when he was a BMX kid, and then he got into cars and I got my first car, and then I've watched him go to the point where he's building. Well, he's not even building cars anymore. He's just getting them all done, and I've stopped watching him because it's not relatable content anymore. Do you feel like
I think
a
you
lot
bring
of
up a
YouTubers
really-
have done the same thing?
I
or-
think you bring up a really good point. I don't think it's relatable. I think it's we watch them hit their critical mass. They have racetracks now. They have compounds. They have, don't know what TJ Hunt has, a big mansion. I know he has
I
that.
think they've stopped getting creative.
Well, yeah, there's like no more steps, and so now it's just the cars. And I think as viewers, we watched for that, watching that growth and all that, and that has kind of stopped. And now it's like, I'll just watch the videos that grab my interest now. You
Yeah,
know?
correct.
Which often are the ones that people watch least, which I think means YouTubers don't put them out as much. Like I like your track coverage. I like watching people advance at drifting or grip racing, or you know. So I end up watching his videos. Then he keeps telling me how fast his BRZ is through the corners. Oh, heck.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I just sort of it slowly like dropped like channels that I'd watch, so it slowly stopped watching them as it went up. The last one that I actually followed was Cletus. And like I followed him for quite some time.
The track refresh was so cool.
Yeah, rated all that. Like
Yeah.
that was so interesting. And then like I still followed him all the way through. And it's not that like I don't like their stuff anymore. It's just I see it and go, I don't really want to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pick it. But I do like to play the other side of that situation. I used to bounce from like watching YouTube content to like having live stream Twitch content in the background. And I just go from one to the other, and it was like almost like a switch. And I think it also corresponded with gaming, because like gaming, I found myself listening to like live streams more because you don't have to be fully focused. But then if I'm like watching some YouTube video and I just miss like, and this is how we got the engine in, I'm like, what? You know? So I think like the content, you know, plays a factor of
think-
it, and us in consuming content, because we're also busy now
I think as I've developed as a video, whatever the fuck you want to call
as a
me,
video.
as a video, I watch other people's stuff and like say if it's just filmed on the phone or something, I find it really hard to watch for myself. Like I know that like you wouldn't care
Yeah.
at all, but I said I'm like,
No,
like
I-
grinds my gears a little bit. It's like
I think I think I'm a little still in the viewer realm. I can still like watch content like that, whereas you two have so
Yeah,
much
I think-
experience.
I
You
think
can
it was-
notice off color grading. You can notice when they went to a bad camera. But for me, it's like if the audio is decent, the video is decent, I'm fine. The thing I do notice is like lackluster content. Like I feel like that for me, because like I was never audio video guy, but I was Minecraft guy that progressed to like just really focusing on certain
From
things.
Bandicam to Fraps.
Yeah. No, it was more
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
am I just trying to fill in content? And I can tell when other people are doing that, just like you can tell when other people are scrubbing on video and audio.
This is also another reason why I sort of fell out of the YouTube game sort of thing.
YouTube game, too much money.
Cannot be bothered with drama.
Really?
It can't be
Oh,
bothered
did Live
with
in
drama.
4x4 get caught in drama?
Nah, not really. But there's just always there's just always shit going around and like the YouTube creator community.
It's,
something went off in the full drive world like yesterday or something. Someone put up a video about someone else. And I was like,
Really?
I don't
Really?
care.
You
I
know
don't
what's funny?
care.
I don't like either side of it. Like,
I don't.
If it's fake, don't like it. If it's real, I don't care.
Yeah.
Just show me the car.
Yeah, and like there was always like comments and stuff about things on the videos and whatnot. I'm just like, just can't be bothered.
Yeah.
You just like, if you enjoy the video, enjoy the video. If you don't, just fuck off.
Fair enough.
But then like, don't be asking me questions about other people and stuff. And like, I don't care. It just drains me. Like, I just want to be in a YouTube world that everyone likes each other, which I think this whole like film sort of side of things, everyone likes each other because everyone knows that you have to work
just
together
trying
to
to
do
do
things.
yeah.
Whereas like you come into this like content creator scene where it's all like individuals and they're all like so against each other. It's like all these little behind the back things and like little snark comments. It's
Yo,
like, just fuck
Your
off.
like testing comment is like, are you an influencer or a filmmaker? And they're like, you're like, fuck you. Throwing down.
I thought you were about to say you were an influencer or a content creator.
No. Come on, I've got way bigger words in me. I wanted to switch to something a bit different. Zachary met Randy. Zachary is a fan of Randy.
Yeah.
And I think I recalled you saying this is one of your first ones where you haven't done anything too embarrassing.
Yeah, I think
Yeah?
so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think maybe.
You know why? Because Randy just talks.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
good.
think you could be embarrassing in front of Randy.
No, not at all. I
You
think
weren't embarrassing.
I
You
wasn't.
definitely matched Randy's turbo energy.
Okay, good.
You became
Alright,
Turbo
alright.
Zach.
Very good now.
I didn't say anything embarrassing. I saw you chuck a fake laugh in, and I'm like, I don't reckon that was
I'm pretty good at fake laughs.
Yeah, I don't reckon that was
Yeah, I
real.
have to do it to you all
You
the
do
time.
it.
I don't pick them all the time.
I could pick Adam's ones.
That one.
You're a bully. You're a bloody bully. Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I didn't. I felt like
improving.
it was
You're
pretty good.
improving.
And weirdly enough, no one knew who Randy was whatsoever. But me, being someone who watches literally everyone, apparently, I have watched him because he had an FD in the past, and he had all these cool cars, S2000s, all that sort of stuff that I sort of grew up with, and I was never into the track scene. I was kind of like into show cars and stance cars and stuff like that once upon a time. So I've watched.
Still are.
Yeah, still kind of are.
Yeah.
I've watched his, R34K series build, which is freaking cool. And he was originally one of the people that got me into FDs as well. So I don't know, meeting him was kind of cool. And he's definitely turbo, like crazy. So it was easy to match
He's
his
full
vibe.
on.
So yeah.
But he's like, he is a full on, but he's good full on.
It's a personality.
Yeah.
It's
It is,
literally,
yeah.
He's literally a YouTuber.
Like, people go, fuck, that's a lot. That's just him. That's
Yeah.
just Randy.
Randy. And it's funny to meet people like who are different on camera versus different off camera. I don't feel like Randy is putting on a different
He was-
personality.
yeah.
He
was
No.
pretty
exact
bang
same
on.
on
He is
camera.
bang on exactly how he is in videos.
I don't
Is
like-
exactly how he is in real life.
I never like different though. I think I think we've actually discussed this before. Like, we are pretty similar on and off the podcast.
Yeah, yeah, certainly.
But when we're doing the podcast, we're not like,
It's an elevated self.
yeah. I don't think it's different necessarily. I think it's camera mode and non-camera mode. But I see what you mean. Like, you could just pull the camera out at any moment and people are like, yep, that's Randy. Whereas like, you pull the camera out on me while I'm in the middle of the work, I might be like, fuck off!
Yeah, legit.
You know?
No, you just, that's what I
I'll do
anyway.
something dumb.
Every time Jesse walks in,
I have noticed you doing that. It's quite funny.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
a joke, by
He's
the way.
just very, he's very much the same person as he was on camera. So it was very easy to go, okay, cool. I know how to sort of talk to this personality, and he was pretty crazy.
That's a
and
fair point.
yeah,
Because for me, like it was, I watched a lot of drift games, and it was like I expected camera Dave, and I got wound down Dave. Not on camera Dave, and I was like, I really like this guy.
Dave's pretty chill.
Dave's
He's
a good
pretty
bloke,
cool.
But I feel like if it went like the other way,
He does still have a little bit of a camera mode, I think, doesn't he?
yeah,
certainly.
definitely. He definitely like turns on the energy, and he is a presenter, like at hosting events and stuff.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
definitely see that in him. No, I know we say you Zach knows everyone. Zach watches everyone. It does blow my mind sometimes. Like you remind me of back when like I feel like I was in the game and like every gaming YouTuber I knew them. I knew what they were doing. Like how we're all tracking who was doing collabs with people, and I don't know. I think I just have fallen out of it. As no longer a YouTuber.
I think I've just got lucky with the 3 people that have come because I actually
we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I think Jimmy's the last one.
Do you know Jimmy Oaks?
I do know. No,
he's going to be nervous around Jimmy.
I'm going to be disgustingly nervous.
Why is that?
This is just Jimmy
Biggest
is
fan?
Biggest.
I do like Jimmy stuff.
Yeah.
Pass around Jimmy. Everyone come down to the next Friday night drift. Come on, all the 50 people, 10 people who are listening.
Is that going to be?
It might be up in time.
Yeah, it'll be up in time.
Have you guys had?
Don't
yeah,
touch
will.
my
Don't put your
feet.
feet under my feet, or I'll put my tongue in your. What? No. Do you guys have like my mates would be like, I really liked what you said about this on the podcast. And I'm like, because like we've all discussed this before.
Yeah.
As soon as we click stop, my brain's like. Don't know what I said.
don't remember.
No idea
It's
what
just-
we talked about.
It's just talking mad shit with the boys, and that's what I think I love about this. Keep it mostly in the realm of automotive, but I want to get to know you guys better. I want we're all pretty fresh to each other. Adam's unfortunately been dating me for 1 year now, so happy anniversary. Adam doesn't like spooning. That's what I know about him, and his car has lots of dials.
You know me so well.
Yeah.
Crazy. We know that Adam's girlfriend's dad has cold showers
Yeah.
now. That's great. That's brilliant.
Maggie's dad likes sushi.
There you go. Jimmy's definitely going to be a very I'm probably not going to speak. I'm gonna start throwing peace signs at the back of his videos.
Do you like? I'm just imagining imagining when someone walks in, say Jimmy walks in. I'm just imagining you half going to lift it. I was like, no,
not yet.
stop.
Not yet.
Well, no,
Stop.
I
And he's
do the
like-
same thing because the worst thing is where I'm positioned as well in the office is right close. Like I'm the closest person to the door. Do I get up and shake hands, or do I just sit there and just go, "Oh, hey mate, what's
you're in
going
the
on?"
best spot
You can
because
get
getting
up
up
and
and
shake
shaking
hands.
hands is so formal. I feel
Yeah.
weird being the furthest part away because I'm like, seems a bit weird if I walk across the whole
fair
room
enough.
to shake their hand.
Yeah.
but
I
that's
normally-
So
what I would intend to do.
your I guess first impression is up to me, so that gives me more pressure.
Yeah.
I
don't like
normally
this.
introduce myself to them because I'm normally the one who films the videos.
Yeah,
with
fair
them,
enough.
So
Zach.
it's just like,
Can you block your ears for this bit? Yeah,
Oh,
Adam
God.
gets a prior introduction.
no, I get no introduction. I have to. They're talking, and I have to push Jason out of the way. Like, hi, I'm Adam.
yeah.
Hi, I'm Adam. Put this microphone on you.
I might be the floating camera, but I'm also Adam, a video. No, so here's what we do. Zach, don't listen.
Oh God.
Next guest go. Shh. What? That's not me. So, next guest that comes along, we pre-brief them like, can you just really push it a lot on they walk in real up close to Zach and he's like,
Get out of it! Don't get close.
I would freak. I would faint, and I
I
would
picture
die.
Zach doing the melt under his desk.
Jason's told me a lot about you.
Yeah.
He's told me a lot about you, Josh.
The thing is, I wouldn't even know what to say. I'm like, oh shit, what have you heard?
We'll
Like,
just get him to ask a really out there question.
Get him to come and go, I watch all your videos.
No, because
no, if,
Because he won't believe that.
Yeah.
because that's what Zach's in his realm. Then he'll be like, "Well, have you heard about my BRZ?" And that would get Zach.
yeah,
in
then
his
I go,
realm.
yeah, I used to watch all your Falcon content. I'm
Yeah.
like, motherfucker, why would you
yeah,
do
actually,
that?
Big fan.
Big fan.
Didn't picture you
Shat
were liking Falcon stuff.
Yeah, no, neither.
Actually,
You never had
like-
Falcons.
No, I still wouldn't say no to an XR6 Turbo.
Yeah, I'm the same. I
really?
really
you-
like a G6E Turbo. Like they're just a cruising car, but like accessible.
The
No, I
G6E didn't have an LSD though. That's the biggest thing as to why people didn't get them. They had an open
Put
center.
an LSD in it.
Yeah, I know.
No, like I've always wanted a single cab. Ute.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
turbo ute.
I just like find the idea of that is just crazy.
A high horsepower turbo ute.
Yeah, it's just like why?
See,
But then why not?
I would like an NA one just to tow. I know Ben Loft, the lad with the S13 that S15 that drives our events here and there. He I've bought car parts off him. Shout out for hooking me up. My partner likes to fuck my headlights up. Anyway, my headlights are his ones. I love that about the drift community. My car is made up of 19 people's cars that I personally know at this point. We have a lad doing drift school with my car's engine. My old car's engine. You know, I told you I sold the NA?
Yeah.
That car is... Not that car, is actually his other car, but... You know, that guy's doing the events. Just such a small world. But I forgot where I was going with this, guys. Can you...
I don't know.
I don't really know.
I don't know. But yeah, I would daily an XR6 Turbo Ute. I wouldn't modify it to be stupid.
I remember. I also would like an XR6 Ute.
Yeah.
I think they're
okay.
gangsta.
I just think that they're just so... When you just think about the concept of it.
There's not a lot of
It's
bag
just
room. And I think that's what we would struggle with because, you as
Yeah.
a media lad and a bunch of gym shit in your car and your speaker, which hopefully you have a
Well,
sound
I'm
system
sure
in
the
this.
speakers in
I'm
the
sure there'll be a
XR6
radio
do
in that
work.
car.
They don't have a lot of space.
Yeah, I know.
Which because we used to have one as a work car when I was a mechanic. Episode drop of being a mechanic. I just have to make sure it gets in. It was a 9 for 9. What episode?
Yeah, I think
is
so.
it?
Yeah, roughly.
I found it really when you turn the head check, they just
It's a small cab.
There's a fucking wall there.
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
a small cabin.
I know it's small, but I would get one that has the hard top on the back
Yeah,
or whatever, so you can at least
Yeah.
lock it.
Have you seen
Yeah,
how
that's a good
expensive they
idea.
are though
They're
now?
so
I know.
A
expensive.
turbo ute. Oh my god.
Yeah, I
they
know,
used to
I
be
hate
like 10 grand maybe, if that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bargain.
So my XR6 Turbo I bought it for 12 and a half.
yeah.
That was 87,000 kilometers on it. Turbo 6-speed. And it was just immaculate. The whole car was beautiful.
by 6-speed auto though. Yeah.
6-speed auto, yeah. The best one. Because autos are more better than manuals, which we've spoken about previously.
I actually just like driving manual to kind of keep fresh with it. Because if not, I'd be hopping in my Sylvia you know.
Oh, it's just something to do with the left-hand
think-
side of your body.
Yeah, I think
I just hold Adam's hand.
where so either an XR6.
You're blushing.
I like. It's warm. I like the XR6 Turbo Ute because it just doesn't make any sense in my brain. Why does that car exist? It's cool. But then things just one of my good mates, Mitch, has a Lolux that has been off the road for 2 years because his engine swapped it and got
Should sell
halfway
it.
through and
Finish
just
your
hasn't
car
got any-
Washed up engine bills.
Mitch, I know you're drifting right now on a simulator and you're listening to us because that's when you listen to the podcast.
Okay, that's
Finish
weirder than the gym.
your car.
I don't know if I could do that. That's weird.
Finish your 1J swap.
Yes,
anyway,
please.
I
Or sell
love
the
that
engine
car.
to Adam.
I love that car. Nah, because he dropped it. I don't want it.
or did he future potential purchaser?
I love that car. It's so basic, really. For what it was, the motor and everything was just the standard motor. Just had extractors and a straight pipe on it. And it was just so fun in that car because it's so light and just again being a ute, it's just stupid. It just doesn't make sense.
I didn't notice because I went and looked at Sam's Ford wagon thing. I didn't know they were solid rear axles, which has opened my... I don't like wagons, but it's kind of a ute that you don't have to pay the ute toll roads. It will put all my crap in it. And I'm like, oh no, why do I like the idea of it, but I hate it, And it's so upsetting. But
I kind of wish they made an FG wagon. They never did after B series, the hearse looking thing.
yeah.
They never made an FG
there
wagon.
was a hearse for sale the other day.
Yeah. Oh, was there really?
Yeah.
Sam literally drove it in and we're all like, bro, that's a hearse.
Yeah.
We had to look it up because we actually thought that
Yeah.
he bought a hearse.
But they all look like hearses.
That is
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's weird.
What an Australian way to get, what is it first for? Moving the body? I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. What an Australian way to go, though. I would love to be in like a built. They should do a built hearse that like does a power skid with you.
Oh, one of the best things you could go out in. So there is a
Oh,
few of
no.
them, right?
Yeah.
There is an AU wagon with a bench seat. And also because it's a bench seat, it's an automatic column shift as well.
Yeah.
So it also has seats in the back as well. So it is an 8-seater column shift bench seat AU wagon, like AU wagon.
Is this a hearse?
No, it's not a hearse.
I'm saying I want to go in a I pass.
Wants to
'cause
be
I'm
put in a
30.
hearse and it just blazes
All
up
I'm
there.
saying, there's better ways to
my
go.
family's like,
That's what he would have wanted.
You want to be single pegging on the way out. Bang, dang, 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 dang.
Dun, 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 dun,
guys,
dun.
We love Brendan. We love Brendan so much. Goodbye. Dong, dong,
Dong,
dong,
dong,
dong,
dong,
dong, dong, dong.
they do really.
Everyone's doing limmy fingers.
I get around.
As you leave, everyone's limmy finger in the air.
I
Get him
get
chopping
around
Brendan into the
AU.
ground. Yeah, boy.
Oh my god.
God, all right.
I get
Change
around
the
the
topic.
I get around the AUs at our events. But God, they have the most boring sound, yeah.
Oh, they're so
like
bad.
they're like full lock, like, and you just picture any other car they would be like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're like, nun, nun, nun,
The limit
nun.
is so slow.
Yeah,
It's like, dun. It's literally the dun.
That is
dun.
what the AU 100 at work sounds so like the coolest
This is the
AU
spiciest
in
sounding
the
intake I've ever heard.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool.
It sounds very similar to the Barrow Wagon.
Yeah. Which
Barrow
is
Wagon's still more
the
hectic.
baby barrel.
Yeah, it's the baby Barrow Wagon. Like, it's the sound of it.
Have you heard it?
No, never.
Oh, it's so cool.
Is that titanium exhaust?
No.
I have no clue. It's
It's like 4-inch down to 2.5 inch.
6 boost manifold.
6 boost manifold.
okay,
Didn't
right, yeah.
even know they made them for
For an
intakes.
That's weird, bro. That's weird.
It sounds so cool. Sounds
So-
aggressive.
Do you guys want to discuss your uni topic? Or I have one question for you.
We got a little bit of time. What's the question? And then I'll decide.
Yeah, all right. What is the most stranded? This is mostly aimed at Adam, but I know you go on a lot of random trips in really unreliable cars. What's the most stranded stuck you've ever been? What's your stuck porn? What's your call? Brendan, I'm stuck. I've got no reception and I'm stuck.
My car's never had to been towed on a tow truck. It's
Yeah.
been towed out of places, but then it drives on the road. So, like, if I broke a diff or something, I can't get out of the 4-wheel-drive track.
No,
So
but I
get
want your
towed out.
actual, where have you been stuck?
I've never really been, like, stranded.
That's not too
There's
bad
always
because
been-
it's usually you go with people. Yeah.
Yeah. Going by yourself is a whole nother ball game. Like, because something goes wrong, like you
My
got
mom's
to
partner
fix the
goes
car.
dirt bike riding by himself. I'm like,
That's scary.
it's got to be the scariest. He's getting a bit up there in the age, like it freaks me out. Up to him.
I mean, the closest I've had to just leaving the car in the bush was we've talked about it before on the podcast where I broke everything in the car. I wasn't even very far away from home. I was like 30
In the
minutes
bush-
away from home.
In the bush, it's actually his backyard.
It's like it's in Westburn. It's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes away from here or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just the bad situation. So I nearly but I was never going to leave it. I was going to stay in the car and everyone else was going to
Yeah.
leave and go home and then
Because
come back better.
you couldn't do that, could you? Because on the odd chance that someone finds it, like that's prime. Like the only times I've been like camping and stuff, like I always see a burnt out car. And
yeah,
like
it's really
if you just
bad.
leave your car there, surely you're inviting.
You are inviting. Like, it's a big risk, unfortunately. Like, people just come along and just destroy it because they can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I feel like is probably the dumbest thing, but it probably is the fellow people in the same industry as you. They're like, oh, look, this broken, like
Yeah.
just
I
the
don't know.
dickheads of the,
I don't know. A lot of people are just like raid the car and just steal everything. out of it. It's bad.
Every interest has its bad people.
Yeah, unfortunately. But probably the furthest away that I've been that something went wrong was, something didn't go wrong. I was an idiot and just like drowned the car in mud and just like ended up driving down the highway with no bonnet or grill on, just try and keep it cool.
Wow.
Because I was at the big desert
The big desert.
Big desert.
Just next
Ooh,
to little,
wait,
next
wait.
to Little
Country.
Desert.
Are you? That's dead set a place.
That is the place. Yeah,
Big
It's
desert.
called Big
it's
Desert.
called Big Desert.
Fuck. Who's the person in charge of naming that?
Probably the same person that named Little Desert.
Yeah, good. Honestly, good bloke. Really clear naming.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly right.
So basically, on this day, we all had work the next day. Big Desert is on the border of South Australia, up the top. So that's far. It's not very. It's probably
That's
like
a
the
long
furthest you
way
can get
away.
away in Victoria,
Yeah.
realistically, from here. And there's a track called Border Track. You literally drive on the border down.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
That's cool.
It's technically in South Australia, but there's a fence to the left, and on that side is
Do
Victoria.
you do that Simpsons thing where you up, over the line?
No,
Oh.
no.
Yeah, right.
All right, back to serious talk.
Back
No
to-
fun.
Yep.
But
No
basically-
fun for Breny.
Basically, we camped at the start, well, not right at the start, but before Border Track, and we were going to drive Border Track and then drive home, which is a terrible idea because Border Track's fairly long, and you can't do it any faster. It just takes a while, and then you still have like a 7 or 8 hour drive home from the other side of Border Track. So right at the end of Border Track, there's these friggin' bog holes randomly. Bog holes is just like mud and water, so just like the deep puddles, really, but the pool, whatever. And on the last one, I don't know what I was thinking. Typical P-plater days. I was like, yeah, I'll fucking know, do it, and just straight in there and just destroyed everything.
You don't have to do a voice. You just sound like that.
mud over the bonnet onto the winds, like mud, not muddy water. It was mud. It like came up and over. And I just kept doing it for some reason, then got out, and then the mud like set like concrete. So then the radiator was just destroyed. There's no
Really?
air coming through it, or we tried to clean it.
What do you go about? Like, what do you do?
You just try and get the mud out as much as you can. Try and make it to a car wash.
I never thought about that, but I do see the cars like caked with
Yeah.
mud. Like, I never thought about the engine repercussions of that
Yeah.
or visibility.
Bog holes destroy cars. That's like what destroys all four-wheel drives is a bog hole. You do one bog hole and the car's like fucked for life
Yeah, right.
until you just like change everything in it. But you never get rid of the mud. The mud's everywhere.
Yep.
But basically, we're driving down the road. We tried all sorts of things. I could only go 40 k's an hour. So then I pulled
Or else you
the
went back in
bonnet off,
time.
or else it would overheat.
Oh.
And then, so then we pulled the bonnet off, and because we're in the middle of nowhere, so we pulled the bonnet off. So I threw the bonnet in the back of the troopy. She real it.
Yeah, that's a big ass car.
Yeah.
Just driving down the road in a convoy, and then you all have UHFs, so radios and stuff.
Yep.
We drove past a farmer, and he just somehow got us on the UHF because you can scan the
You're a
channels.
bitch.
You can scan the channels, and if you talk on it, it picks up.
Yep.
And he got onto us, and he recognized us from Living 4x4, which is this back when we weren't that big, maybe 10,000 subs or something. He recognized this, and he got onto us on the radio. And he's like, yeah, I'll take you back to my place, and we'll clean it out. Because farmers are the best, by the way. Farmers are the best. They saved my brother's ass for like
10,000.
they were away by themselves, like ages away, and just like blew all the belts in the car, and it was just like couldn't drive it at all. And they were by themselves. Anyway, so farmers are the best. But he like got in front of us, and he's like, "Yeah, it's just across this paddock here," and just randomly dives off into a paddock. We're just like driving through this paddock over train lines and stuff. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" But then we
You
like
stopped, he pulls out a gun and robbed you.
got back to his house, and he gave us the high pressure washer and cleaned it out, and I could drive it home. It would overheat if you were like going up a long hill, but it could sit at 100 k's an hour. So we
Wow.
got home at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then had to go to work the next day.
Oh, god damn.
This is when I was working at like 7 or 6 in the morning, so I had to be at work at like 6, I think.
Yep.
It's the only time I've ever gone, I can't drive, and I got my mate to drive because I was too tired.
Wow.
It's the only time.
Wow.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
So that is, I wasn't really close to being stranded because our
yeah,
plan,
but
our
your
plan
full
was,
life depended on that guy, or else you would have been.
well, our plan was we were going to limp it to, I think it was Horsham. So it's going to be like a long drive to Horsham. There was a car wash there, and we're just going to spend
Yeah.
bulk coins and
Yeah.
just do
Get
Get it
what
all
we can
out.
to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But basically, he got us home earlier. But I was going to like get to Horsham, do it, and then just find a camp spot and send everyone else.
But even
home.
so, you still had the potential to break down or
Yeah, well,
whatnot because you were
blown
lim-
up.
Yeah,
The engine could have shut.
So that was that. I definitely would count that as like a oh shit moment. Yours was way cooler than mine. I always see. I can't remember what it's called, but there was that show where like they're like they're stranded and they made a bunch. It's so funny. You watch it and they're like, and I just thought that blowing the tire would be fine because I had a spare and we had only just left on our journey and I didn't think to go back and get a new spare. And then they blow another and it's like, but luckily under my seat I found the blow up spare. And it's like, how have you blown 6 tires and not thought to turn back? Anyway, these people like going cross country across Australia and it's just those like one-way dirt roads. They scared the life out. Like, I picture my car like in the Silvio, no AC, bang, wheel pops off. I am dead. That is it. I have no options. Hope someone comes and saves me or die.
What I said, the bulk holes kill cars. Corrugations is the other thing that kills cars.
Is that the bumps?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. They make rattle shit apart.
Yeah, everything falls apart.
Yeah.
I had my hub fall off on my car in South Australia.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, like your knuckle hub bit.
No, the locking hub.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, a hub.
Okay.
Yeah, locking hub
Yeah.
of the wheel.
Yeah.
It's not as bad, but still
It's not
bad.
as bad,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I had that, but I've got stories from like my brother and other mates. So like he got stranded once, where all the belts broke in his car. And he didn't have spare belts. So then a farmer like saved him stuff. Literally like boated across the Murray because they were like on the border.
Oh my god.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, a little picked up by the boat.
No, but like he invited them back to their house, made them dinner, and they had showers and everything. They slept there and stuff, and it was
That's
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
I wasn't there, but yeah, he saved their asses. And then another time he went to go up to Cape, got up there, blew a motor up. As you do. And then I had other mates who went across to Tasmania and they had to do a full engine rebuild over there so they could get their car back on the boat.
Oh my god.
Because it was at the time of the year where the boat is
You
fully
don't do
booked.
as much interesting stuff as your friends and family.
I'd rather not blow motors up, you know?
But it's such epic. Picture the video, mate. Picture you wake up at 4 a.m. to get your sunrise. And you start pulling the engine out. And at this point, we were very tight. You're doing your voiceover.
Your voiceover. yeah.
That's a video.
He's getting his little
Basically-
torque settings, but he's doing the angles on the torque wrench like that.
Cinematic.
Cinematic as hell.
Yeah, so there's been people that are in a lot worse situations because I've never really been anywhere by myself that is really remote.
Yeah.
I'd freak out by myself.
I've been like with family to Central Australia and stuff, but again, that's still different to like going out by yourself. It's like you're responsible if anything goes wrong. This car you built with no knowledge.
I like situations that if I have to pay my way out, I can. You know, like even when I went to Japan, I was going with someone else. They arranged everything.
Yeah.
But I had the money sitting there if I needed to dip. I was
you
buying a
still could.
ticket and dip, you know?
Yeah.
And that, like, when you put me in a car really far away, like, until I start thinking about it, I'm fine. But as soon as I start thinking about it, I'm like, oh my God, if the car breaks down right now, I'm straight, like, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why I thought maybe you would have a story like that. You know,
I
you've done a lot
got
of,
two dumb. I got
you
one
drive a
dumb
lot of
story.
breaking cars.
I got one dumb story. I got one interesting story, but I was. My cars can't really get that far away from
From their home.
from civilization. Like, so the biggest one was when I was traveling. I did my tour from Brisbane all the way down. My tour. Yeah, my grand tour.
My influencer tour.
It was.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I called it.
Did you go to one of
Did
his
you just call
meetups?
himself an influencer?
Yeah.
I
Can't be
called
friends
it the
anymore.
grouse tour because everyone down here says grouse. So I'm like, I went down to Victoria and came back, and then I know it was dumb. Don't give me that look. I'm sorry. You're just gonna drink your water.
Tell us more about the grouse.
Yeah. Right.
No, go
Yeah.
on.
So you're on the tour.
So you're on the grouse tour.
I'm on the grouse tour. Anyway, don't give me that look. That's weird. So yeah. Anyway, I was driving the Falcon and I was doing Brisbane to Victoria and back. And so you're giving me weird looks, bro. I don't like this. Anyway, it was during the bushfires as well. So the bushfires.
Oh, beautiful time to go
a
for a road
horrible
trip.
time to do it. So
Well, I have a bushfire. Yeah, keep going.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, sweet.
bushfire story.
I was driving and I was driving through the middle of New South Wales as the bushfires were taking over New South Wales. So I was doing because I was doing a car meet every single night, 3 days consecutively. So I was driving to one town doing a car meet and then driving as far as I could to the next one doing a car meet that night.
5Ks away.
Yeah. It
Far
was
as I could.
It was far as I could. Yeah, so
One
I
tank.
was so pretty much I had the Falcon. I went from here to Newcastle and then I went from Newcastle. I tried to drive as far as I could to Melbourne that night after the car meet. So I finished up at 11. Then I drove and I was like out the South Sydney somewhere about 3 a.m., like really far South Sydney, sort of like near Canberra turn-off area. And I went to go pull over at a car park area.
I don't know this area, so you can't just say things like that.
Yeah, you kind of know where I am.
Yeah,
I'm like South Sydney on the highway, sort of near the Yass near Canberra turn-off.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. And I stopped at a car park area, but I could see like an orange glow in the distance, sort of thing. Like the fires were freaking close.
Oh, heck. I thought you
was
were going to say
cloudy.
like your check engine light or
Oh,
something.
no, definitely not. So anyway, I pulled over and I could see a glow, but they were closing the highway behind me because I really wanted to get down. So they were closing it behind me and I could sort of see a glow back that way, but I didn't really know exactly how close I sort of was. So anyway, there was heaps of cars parked. So I decided I'm really, really tired. I need to take a nap because I cannot keep driving. It's 3 a.m. And I've just driven, 10 hours, 12 hours this day, plus done a car meet and plus washed my car, plus caught up with my mates and everything. So I stopped there and I was...
Hard life.
Yeah, I was fast asleep and I got a knock on the window, big loud knock. And it was the fireys. And I opened the door and they said, you got to keep moving down the highway. We're going to keep shutting it down. I'm like, okay, rightio. So anyway, jump back in my car. I'm dead. I'm like, oh, Jesus, push the car to start.
Do you know how
Keep
long
going.
you got a nap for?
I dare say maybe 15 minutes.
I legitimately
if that.
picture you like, I'll relax. It seems like a safe.
Yeah.
And then they're like, excuse me, mate. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, just
Yeah, I
falling
dare
asleep.
say I would have just got into like a deep sleep at one point, and it was like maybe half an hour, 15 minutes.
They did you dirty. They
They
didn't even
did,
let
yeah.
you get for your full REM cycle.
Yeah, I
How
know.
dare they?
How dare they?
So anyway, they said you got to keep moving. The fire's coming through here. We got to try and stop it at this sort of point. I'm like,
Imagine they
oh,
smashed his with
right.
Oh, you hit the microphone.
You gotta go. Yeah. Well, that wasn't the first time. So I got in the car. I drove as far as I could. I drove for another 45 minutes and stopped at the next stop. And then I'm like, surely here it's like 4 in the morning or something like this. I don't know how. I've been driving all night and I've managed to stop for like 15
One.
minutes. All good.
Brady's testing
I just
his
wanted to
microphone.
one. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I drove 45 minutes. It's like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I finally got back to sleep. Next minute, on the window again, donk, donk, donk. I'm like, oh shit! Open the window, and he's like, sorry, mate, you got to keep going. I'm like, this is so bullshit.
You're like, give me a break.
If I want to die, I'll die. But... no, not that. So yeah, I kept driving, and I think I got to the third one, but I drove for an extra hour and a half before I got to this next one, and I was dead. So I'd just driven. So from my car meet on Friday night, I had worked the full day. It was my last day at work, so I had sort of, I caught up with everyone. Did a car meet that night, drove to Newcastle, slept for 3 hours, and then drove to the rest of Newcastle.
Where were you
And
staying on this road trip?
I slept in the car the whole time.
Oh, I couldn't do that. I hate that.
I love it.
I
It was
hate
so good. Falcons are great for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
no.
So actually, I had the boot lie down flat, so the boot was all flat, and I put the seats down flat, so I could sleep half in my boot. It was
That's
great.
so weird.
It was
'cause I pictured the little hole like being a
Yeah.
little pocket.
It's actually massive in a Falcon. You can fit really wide. You can fit really wide in a Falcon. I know it sounds sorry. I didn't say that really weird.
You can fit really wide.
Zach's long ways in the gap. Like, what are you doing? Go that way.
Sleeping in the Falcon the long way. Yeah, so I did that, but yeah, I got stopped twice and then having to keep going. But the other one, I actually got stuck in the bush once. In
High country.
my dad's Holden Adventurer. I thought it was a good four-wheel drive off-road machine. You know where this is going already.
I have a similar story.
So I was 17 and I'd just been to the gym and I was coming back.
Fucking huge.
This is
Huge,
an unbelievable
mate.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
huge. All good
This is
story
a
stuff
fake
with the
story.
gym.
Fake story.
I wanted, actually, can I interject to our first random topic?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm going to introduce. Were you doing the cold shower thing as a thing for soccer? Because you said you used to play soccer, didn't you?
Correct. Yeah. No, it wasn't for soccer. I
I
stopped
thought it might
soccer
have
in
been
year
a
12.
recovery thing.
So yeah, I want to go back this year, but I don't have a team yet. But Yeah, it was
If
only
anyone
12.
as a team wants to pick up Zachary, he's not very tall.
Can barely run.
Not a great
can't
jumper.
Not a great jumper.
Adam has this pole at his house.
I can't get it. It's so annoying. I've
Zach
tried so
does.
often.
It's legit like I
Every
sit
week
there on
he
this
tries to.
couch watching him try to jump and touch it. It's so funny.
It's
Are you
so-
watching, Brendan? Are you watching?
I just can't get it. It's so
Yeah.
tall.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, yeah. So I was 17. I was driving my dad's Adventurer, and
That's illegal
no, I wasn't.
on your L's.
On my no. I was on my P's.
17?
Yeah, 17.
Wow.
We get our L's at 16.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was 17. I was driving back from the gym. I was cruising home, and we used to have like this mountain bike trail that was beside the road, and it used to be like a service access road that used to go up and down and stuff like that beside this main road. So anyone who lives up in Gladstone, you guys will probably remember. It wasn't Phillip Island.
Or possibly one of you.
Phillip Island? No, not Phillip Island. Well, Phillip
Phillip
Street.
Island's down here.
Yeah, Phil.
Yeah, I know,
We've
yeah.
been.
I know. Phillip Street. It's
No
in.
penguins.
I don't know where it is, but it's in Sun Valley in Gladstone. Sounds really dodgy, but whole Gladstone's dodgy. Yeah, so it's like a big sort of road that goes like this. It's like a service road for all the people that need to go service like the water tanks, and there's a big telegraph station at the very top there and stuff like that.
What's a telegraph station?
Is it a
I've
telegraph
seen-
station? Like
I've
just
seen like that.
like a
sign
Telstra
before.
sort of thing.
Yeah. Is it just them usually getting a high point?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
just up high. There's
Yeah.
always tracks to it because they got to get there.
I
Service
see dodgy tracks like that, and I'm
substation?
so
Service
fascinated.
station?
I love like abandoned shit and like overgrown things.
Yeah, well, that's what I was cruising on.
Yeah.
So I was doing
Should
this.
you
and I
have
was-
been?
No, definitely
Oh,
not,
yeah.
because I ended up getting the car stuck in a rut somehow going up one of these things,
Yep.
and then I didn't have a phone or anything, so I then had to leg it home. Leaving the car in the bush.
No.
So yeah, I'd just gone down this like 30% grade that had ruts, and I completely beached the car over this rut, and I couldn't get it
How
off.
with terminology like 30% grade? I thought you would have been set.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was steep. I feel like 30% grade is steep.
Adam, what are you
What
what's-
roughly is
what's-
this?
about
What's this steep? This, you know,
That's about a 15%
you know,
grade.
Yeah, just
this
that.
steep.
About that
Is
steep.
that how you measure it? You put your hand on the dirt and then let it flop, and then you're like, yep, about there.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, so I ended up like getting the car up on two wheels, like where the front left was up the ground and
Oh,
the rear right was off the
no.
ground.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I
outflexed
could
yourself.
I outflexed myself. I didn't have enough flex. I didn't have my phone. I tried to bounce the car a few times. Like I stood on the rear wheel and literally just bounced it to see if I could try and get it to budge. Didn't budge at all. So anyway, I walked 10 minutes
that.
home to then go tell my mum, hey, look,
Someone has parked.
someone has parked the Adventurer down the bush trail and I can't get it out. And mum was really pissed, and I had to leave for work in about half an hour's time. So I got a friend to come and pick me up, and my mum got a tow truck to then drive down the other side of the
Service
trail
road. Oh
and
my
pull the Adventurer out that
God.
I'd beached. So yeah, this was 17-year-old me that got my dad's car beached in a tiny little bush trail
Nice.
and had to get it rescued while I abandoned it.
I didn't think I had a story for my question, but you've reminded me that I do.
nice.
I have a story about bushfires.
That sounds scary. I'd like to hear your bushfire story.
Yeah,
Do
same.
you want to hear it?
Yeah.
So this
I
was.
find them very
this was
scary.
The
and
oh
powerful.
yeah.
Like
The
you
year.
just smoke. Like
this scary
it's
and
like really
powerful.
far away, and like I'm getting the smoke, and it makes you like notice
don't
the
know.
scale. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you know how we normally name the days or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if this has a name yet. The last really big ones, like the really big ones.
Yeah.
So it was that summer, and we were out in the high country before it got
Oh,
bad.
country.
So like you stay on top of it, and it's normally okay because you can sort of figure out where it all is and what's going on. But then it was sort of we were out there at the time that it was starting to just get out of hand. So it was like sporadic. You didn't really know. I was always a little bit on the edge about it because you don't have reception all the time either.
When
so you
it
can't check
becomes like that, is it like they're like, yeah, it's trending this? Like, is this a your like radio thing you're hearing or what? Or is it?
Well, they close a lot of places as
Okay.
well. Realistically, you just shouldn't go out there. I don't go out there anymore because of this time. And we caught up with mates at this campsite. So we were just sitting there at night, well, sunset sort of time.
Were you young and making dumb decisions? Like, would you
Well,
count this as that?
I wasn't in charge of the trip. I was just following. I was just like, okay,
Because I just picture like young Adam, and I know it's not even that long ago, but like, oh, there's not even anyone here.
Nah. We didn't go to like any spot that was like that rural. Like there was, we were always in sort of an area that had like proper towns around it and stuff. So you weren't that far away. But like we're just sitting there at camp, and then the wind changed, and the whole camp just was full of smoke. It was like it was fog, and we were like, oh fuck, like that's not a good sign. If the smoke all of a sudden appears at you, that means the fire's coming towards you. So that's not nice. No reception, because you always camp down low, because that's where the rivers are normally, because you get protected from the weather. So then I went up with one of the guys that was there and went up the mountain to try and get reception. And we got some, and we could see, and like we were okay for the night. So then I got back and I went to Sam. I was like, look, well, we just sort of had a discussion. We were like, no, we got to get out. We got to go. So we stayed for the night because it was already nighttime. It's not a good idea to be driving around on that, because they're like single lane tracks through mountains and you can't see anything. It's like cliff edges and stuff. It's not a good idea to be there at nighttime. So it was just like so eerie the way that the smoke all just rolled in. It was so thick too. So then we left in the morning. We stopped by a spot that was like right on the outskirt sort of thing, but you could see all the fires, and it was hectic, like huge. Like it was because it was actually two big fires, and then they joined into one, which is what made it really bad.
Yeah, okay.
They joined into one massive one, and you could see that one massive one, and we're like, it's like a massive like mushroom cloud.
So I've never been that close. Like that's why I said what I said before. Like I've only ever witnessed like the smoke and that smell and gone, that's bad. If I've got my little town,
we'll clip this and I'll like get the video. I've got a video of it as we're like driving out, and we're like, whoa, this is not good. And then it cuts to like another video. My brother's car's overheating because the day that we left,
all the time.
The day that we left was like 45 degrees, like stupid hot winds. Like I've never been in that hot of a wind. It was crazy. So his car was overheating. Mine blew an alternator as well, like on the drive home.
Yep.
So like we got to Bairnsdale, which is the main town down low. And then we're just driving on the highway out. It was just like constant fire trucks coming the other way.
Wow.
But it was like...
What's constant? Like, did you say like 40? It's like, I don't even know the scale of it, you know? Yeah.
What's constant 40 fire
Yeah,
trucks?
no, but like
it's a very odd
go
scale.
past you, like, yeah, bad fire. But like,
no, it'd be like 4 together, like going in like another 5-10 minutes, another 4.
Okay.
And so it's like eerie, it was bad, and like army trucks going past,
all smoke and stuff. Wow,
all smoke everywhere. Like you're not near the fires, but it was all.
Are the
smoke.
army people just like blocking off people and clearing zones and stuff?
They were doing that, and then they just like taking supplies around and stuff. So the next day, the day that we left, the forestry like came around. So they're definitely not called forestry. I just forget their names.
Forest people.
I've forgotten their name. Rangers. The Rangers came around.
And forest people. People of the forest.
And like they kicked everyone out. Well, told everyone they had to leave from all the campsites, including the one where we were at. But it was just so eerie, and it was worse because my brother's car was overheating. I burnt the crap out of my hand because like I grabbed a hot air filter. And I had like a massive blister up my whole finger.
Yeah.
And then I did an alternator, so I had no gauges, I had no aircon or anything. Like everyone's dying. It was an awful experience. And then like
At least
I still
didn't break down then.
that smoke coming in is still like burnt into my brain though. I'm just like, never again.
Yeah.
Never again.
Scary.
Like for it to turn that quickly.
So like I was never in danger from a fire, but it's just like you can see them.
My stories are so much more boring than you guys. Like I didn't even think I had one, and then I know when my first and only camping trip with Maggie, her brother had annoyed me a little bit, and had the bright idea to go down a trail in a Commodore, and I'm like,
great.
I'm just watching like, I know this isn't going to work, but I'm not going to say anything because I'm annoyed. And I watched him get bogged, and I sat there and I'm like, I know there's a rope in the back of this car that we can tie to that car to get it out, but I'm going to sit there and watch them try to jar sticks in the wheels and stuff because I was in a bad mood.
Yep.
This is the kind of bad mood I get, guys. I'm like,
You get
passive aggressive. I get petty. I'm like, I could help, but I won't. It's like every time you cook dinner here. No, that's just me being lazy.
Adam didn't laugh at that, bro. He's
Yeah, I know.
serious. He
Yeah, I
wants you
know.
to help.
I'm not helping. Look, I got the waters. I'm not doing a good job.
Did a
of
good
filling
job.
them up.
Yeah.
Turned my camera on. Sorry about the camera
Did it
difficulties.
stay on this time?
I hope so. Sorry about the camera difficulties, but my camera just turns itself off
Screen's
sometimes.
still on, so it's all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
fingers crossed. Whew. Yeah, and that was like my like stuck thing, but it wasn't even me. It was just me watching like I started. I'm like watching them start off like we'll get out of this in reverse. Not going anywhere. They're trying to shake the car. They're sticking, and I started seeing panic, and I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll help now. There's a rope in the back of the car, and then we just But that was what I thought my story was, and I'm like, it's nothing compared to what I assumed you guys would have since you're wild adventurers and I played Minecraft a lot. But then you reminded me when I was a young lad and I had my Ford Falcon and we wanted to go drift go-karting after work, and there wasn't a lot of those places, so it was on the other side of the city. And the boys, like, on Messenger, everyone on Facebook, get arranged, and everyone, we all come to my house. We're all like 5 deep in my Ford. And I come through that, what's that, the Burnley tunnel? The one that goes under the river, whatever. I don't know
Something like
roads.
Yeah.
Tunnel underwater, and I come out of it, and like it's a bit of an incline, so I gas it. And the car, I'm like, car's blowing a lot of smoke. It had blown up the coolant line. And so I came up that and like overheated and stopped like 30 meters from that tunnel exit, right? As we turn off to like Todd Street to Todd Road to go to like Calder. I broke down there with all my mates in the car.
In the tunnel is not a good spot to be.
I was happy it wasn't in the tunnel, but it was like I could throw a rock into the tunnel. I was that close to it. And I was only 2 weeks into my, not a little bit longer probably, but I was fresh mechanic. My mate that was with me had a job interview at that workplace that I like lined up for him the next day. And we left after work. So we're trying to get their last session of drift kart. So it's like 9 p.m.
Yep.
I think like the car broke down. We found where the crack was. We were trying to like kink the hose because went into the heater core, so it wasn't technically
It didn't
needed.
really need to be.
But because like a bunch of inexperienced people on the side of a freeway, like my mate was laying under the car. I
It's
remember
still busy at that time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I did not get close to the wall because I'm like, what's wrong? Nothing too bad. And so I remember my mate James like, I'll go under the car and just make sure it's that one hose. And I'm like, that is up to you, but that is so dangerous because like there's moving cars, like, and we ended up calling my dad. My dad hired a trailer, came and picked. Oh no, he didn't. He came to look at it because we were hoping he would be able to find a smarter way because he was a mechanic, and to fix it. And he's like, no, we're just going to have to keep topping it up with coolant. So to keep topping it up with coolant, we head down to the back streets, and like under there is a bit not nice of an area, which is really funny because we walked over to the servo and we were like getting bottles of water to fill it up. And we just kept like chugging it along and filling it up with coolant with my dad there. So if we fully broke down, we could just go back home with him. But I think we got home at like 3 a.m. Sace had the job interview the next day, got the job. And by the time we got home, my engine was knocking.
Oh,
And
big sad.
rip the Ford. And then I got, I remember it's still, it's like a life lesson. Like I called some people and I'm like, yeah, the car's running, but it's knocking. And they're like, yep, no, we'll still give you $200. That's how much. And then the guy gets there and he's like, all I've got is 100. And I'm like, that was my first time, like, people are dicks. I'm like, but I knew like they came from pretty far.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, the guy on the phone said $200. And he's like, best I can do is $150. The guy on the phone said $200. It was my first time like really standing up for myself because I'm like, this guy can drive away and I can just call another person that will come give me $200 for my Ford. And so the Ford was gone for $200, knocking. left us stranded. We never got to go go-karting. We haven't been since. I am yet to go drift
Bad
go-karting.
taste in your mouth.
I've kind of dogged the boys. Like, I remember we were going to Future. I don't know. Do they still do Future? I don't know. Like festival, multiple DJs and
I
shit.
wouldn't have a clue.
Skrillex was there.
Are you asking us because we're young?
Yes.
We do that sort of thing?
No, yeah, and I
No.
don't follow that stuff. No, yeah, and I remember my mate and Brayden and I booked tickets and we were like so stoked, which is really weird because it's not really my vibe, but I just liked music, so I thought I'd like a festival. I got my L's and cut up throughout my I got my license and cut up and threw out my L's. So we get to Future and they're like, ID, and I'm like, yep, no. And so we we get to Future, sell our tickets at the gate, and then catch the train home. Dog the boys. I had no option. I was like, well, I suppose you can go in with me, but without me. But yeah, I'm bad, mate. I'm kind of a party pooper. No drift carts, no festival, nothing.
That's really
That was
sad.
me. Yeah,
Fair enough.
young Breny was a.
Have you got any other like
Dogging the boys?
stupid? No, not dogging the boys, but like stupid car issues that have made you stranded in the past.
I had
Was
a
it-
wheel fall off
I like that. That's good. That's good. When did your wheel fall off?
in the
Told
bush.
this one, haven't you?
I think I have told it. Yeah.
Yeah, early
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
The car broke.
You,
The
and
most
you
expensive.
didn't believe me about the fact that a wheel speeds up when it falls off a car. I googled it.
I still don't believe.
I googled it afterwards.
Googling off the potty, huh?
off the podcast, and it is true. It does speed up when it falls off a car
Yeah.
because there's like
Go on, explain it.
I don't know the scientific terms, but it's like because there's power going through it, yeah. So when it comes off, it like releases that, so then it's not being held back, so it actually goes faster.
Oh, I can understand that.
Yeah, I don't. And it's not a thing you can do about it.
It's science.
I have had little problems, little dramies. I once I feel like I told you guys this one, but like leaving my mate's house like really late. My handbrake locked on one wheel. I didn't know. I'm just driving, stop at the lights, smoke coming up. Oh, what the hell? Go and look
Your
at my
handbrake
brake.
locked on one wheel in a
Yeah.
car,
Yeah, so
and you didn't realize.
no, because it's just one wheel.
I'm confused.
It just felt a little bit more resistance, but so the Sylvia handbrakes
I don't
and
It
understand.
can be on, and you're still driving, and it can still spin.
Yeah, it
but it's
doesn't-
just got pressure.
yeah, it's like clamped on.
Oh,
So
I thought the
Sylvia-
wheel was actually stopped, and you were just like the whole way
No,
home.
no, no,
Okay,
no, no.
right. Yeah.
So it's like if you just like slightly pulled it up, but it was
Yeah.
only one wheel, so I barely noticed it. It felt resistance. I'm like, oh, that's a bit dodgy. But what am I going to do? Like stop and inspect the car? Probably
Yeah.
should have. No, the Sylvias have these little like latches on their handbrakes that like just pull the caliper. Like it's
Yep.
essentially like just pressing the pedal, and it like can click too far, and so it clicked too far and was just locked on. Anyway, I fixed that. The caliper started leaking, so I fixed that caliper. And then, like, I stayed at Maggie's one night, walk out to my car, the other caliper's leaking. I'm like, well, how does this? I've only had little ones like that, but luckily over the years, I've just hoarded, like, dumb shit parts, like, for my
Yep.
Sylvia, you know. It's like, oh, yeah, like, I reckon I'll need this one day. For example, I saw a gearbox for $800 today, and I'm like,
Ooh, for
I
the
might
Starlet?
get that, Mike. No. The Starlet's already got a spare motor and engine in the white
for
one.
the SR.
For the S13, yeah. But
S13.
the thing is, having a drift car and a weekend car that are the same, switchy parts if I need to.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
If I need to, I'd
Yeah.
rather not do it, honestly.
yeah. So I got stranded in my 33. If you couldn't imagine the reliable cars
Honestly,
that I've
you've
owned.
had less drammy stories with that car. So
Yeah. So I knew it was leaking a little bit of oil, but you know me with my stupid, idiotic, dumb things that happen to my cars out of nowhere whatsoever, like a disappearing direct injector seal or stuff like
Yeah,
that. So you know the RB25 VCT gears on the is it the left hand side? They have like a pressed. They're sort of like they're oil fed, so they change depending on the oil pressure inside the actual gears. So this one was leaking out of the pressed fitting in the very front that should never have to be serviced. So I went and I replaced that gear, and I went back and I went to the track the next day. So I was doing the track day, and then all of a sudden, just oil and smoke and everything everywhere all over this track. So I'd done a little track
You're
day.
a dog.
Yeah, I
Ends
know.
the grip race
I
session.
know. I
Oil
know.
all over the track.
So this was my first lap out. I got half a lap around and then I started noticing smoke. So I pulled off and I went onto the thing and someone came up to me and said, there is oil everywhere underneath your car. And I'm like, oh,
Surely, like on the way there, you do a like, make sure.
Well, the thing is, I'd
Yep,
just
she's
driven
working.
it. I'd fixed it in Gold Coast and I drove all the way to my house, which was in almost Sunshine Coast. And then I drove all the way out to Lakeside. So I'd already done 2 hours of driving in this car in traffic and everything else as well. And it didn't leak a single drop of oil. So I went to
do a freeway pull.
I did a freeway pull. I did everything. I drove
this.
this thing always hard. Like it was always on red line. This thing was wicked. Drove to Lakeside and then I did half a lap and the thing started smoking everywhere. And so I turned the car on just to see where the oil was coming from. And I noticed very quickly that it was coming from underneath the timing case.
Pops on.
I found the issue.
Yeah, so I literally opened the bonnet, turned the car on, and just ran around to the front and just see where it was leaking from. And I'm not joking. It's like I'd undone the sump plug on this car and literally just let all the oil just go out of the sump plug.
Did it damage the engine or anything?
No, not at all. It's fine, mate. It was all good. It was
baby,
easy.
we'll rev it
Yeah.
out.
So anyway, I took it back home because I needed to find this oil leak issue. So anyway, my mate came with we went and ran to the trailer, got the car, took it back home, and then I pulled the timing cover off just to see what was leaking. And I turned the car on, and sure enough, out of the front housing of the VCT gear was like a windmill of oil. So I turned the car on, and out
that's
of
cool.
every single
That's
orifice
cool.
was like 4 little prongs of like perfect oil streams. It was like, ooh, it was amazing.
You're lucky you didn't damage it.
Yeah, no, very lucky. So I made a mess of my car. Like, obviously, the engine bay was never the same. The driveway was never the same. But it turns out
Bring it to Adam's
there's
house.
like there's 4 little tiny bolts on the front which like seal an O-ring that when the person had redone the VCT cam gear in the past has just like nipped them up and didn't use Loctite.
Yeah.
Or I didn't use Loctite. I probably should have checked.
Sounds like you.
Sounds like me. Because I think you have to
Good when the person putting it together and you're like, that was me.
Yeah, yeah. So, the plate had actually stayed on, but every single bolt had backed out over time, and so it was just like enough to just push the O-ring out, and then all of a sudden it was a big spinning wheel of oil. So that was my
Not
final
too
one.
bad of a fix though.
Yeah, so
How
I
about
literally just replaced the O-ring.
Like hiring a trailer out of necessity is the worst feeling. Like I don't mind when I have to hire one because I'm doing a track day. I'm like, all right, get it, pay it.
The guys at Northside Trailer Hire knew me as well, so every time I walked in, it's like, "Oh, your car's broken again." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fair."
Don't you spoil my upcoming YouTube video.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have a fan tour coming up.
The grouse tour.
The grouse tour.
That is disgusting.
What's
Zach.
wrong with it? It was such a good word.
Everything.
It's like, you guys could probably call it the Palmer tour. It's gross.
It's still better than the grouse tour.
Yeah, agreed.
I think we should end that one there. We'll get on to the new topics next time.
Thank you all for listening.
Thank you all for listening. Rate us 5 stars on Uber.
If you do want to sponsor the podcast, if you
sponsor.
want to do anything, get the
Stackers are still
stickers. The stack is up there. And the ones on there as well, if you guys are watching on the YouTube.
And on Jason Farron's
jump on
Drift
to stickersocials.com.
.com.
.au.
No, right.
No, I almost do it every time.
Now I'm going to have to buy that domain just so that the one person that doesn't listen.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, everyone.
Bye.
See you.